Welcome to episode 8, part 2 with Lawrence-Thor. If you've not downloaded episode 1, go and check out first, then come back to this one. We are about to get serious about growing your business, talking about industry issues, and chatting about the Arbor Association. How's it going, man? I'm sorry that I've had to drag you away from the beer garden, but how are things?
Oh my god, mate, I'm so glad that things are opening back up for one. Like, I'm gassed for everyone. I think, like, for everyone's mental health, for businesses, small local businesses and all of that stuff. I've got a lot of friends who've got shops and stuff like that, so I'm super excited now that it seems that slowly things are opening up, man. How about you? How's things in you?
It's been good. The last week it went a little bit quiet, and then just in like the last few days, we had the magazine come out, the numbers on the first episode. I've not gave you the official download, but we got the official download. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Desire, Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you've been able to listen to this podcast. Do you want to take a guess, mate? Because I couldn't comprehend when I got the final numbers in. I just sat there and went, wow.
To be honest, I'm humbled for one thing. I am massively humbled because I was not expecting this. I was just looking to have a friendly chat with you. Yeah. So first things first, I was just humbled. But the last time I looked, just on video content, so we're talking Facebook and YouTube, we're at about 6K at the moment. So I'm not sure where the iTunes and where the Spotify has taken us, but so mate, I'm gassed.
Everything downloaded, mate. 8,500. So 8,500 tree surgeons, arborists, forestry workers from around the world. I've watched us two idiots talk just about trees in the last episode, and we're going to do it again.
And that's exactly what we are. Just two idiots. No, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Even the feedback that I've got from some people just getting in touch, like, it's so nice to just have some positivity. It's good to just know that there are genuine people out there that are really listening and just hear and feel how genuine we're being, and just having a friendly chat about the industry as a whole. And some of the things we touched on last time were, some of those things I've never even told people, outside of my very close friends. Do you know what I mean? And for people to be like, yo, I'm rooting for you to have a helicopter. Like, I'm super, like, please, Bugsy I want to be Bugsy on, like, one of the first in a helicopter. For someone to go in like that means that you actually listen to all of it, all the way to the end. Because some of these things that people were pulling out, it's just, mate, I'm so humbled. But you know what? I'm having so much fun with it. It's just good. Like, I'm having fun. Like,
so we're literally, it's Monday afternoon, early evening. We're sat back and we're just going to go for the next hour, maybe even 2 hours if we really want to push it. And just
I don't know if people got enough time for 2 hours. I'm down for talking. I'm down for going through all of your questions, because I know you've got a lot from what we said pre-interview.
We've got questions, and we've also got viewer questions as well. So people have listened to the podcast and went, you know what, I've got a question for Lawrence. Here it is.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. So I'm super excited to get through all of this. I am, but I'm hoping it don't go for 2 hours. But you've got me till whenever you want me, because I'm just having so much fun.
Shall we get into it then, man?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
What is that badge on your shoulder?
The Arbor Association thing, yeah? Is that what we're going to go now? We're going to start with the Arbor Association.
We're going in with the heavy hitter. You're for it. I'm against it.
I don't get how anyone could be against it. What's the against it? I don't understand. Go on, just hit me up, because it does not make sense to me why you would not want to be associated with the Arboricultural Association. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter who you are as a business. Does not make sense. Like, why would you not want to be associated with the best? Why would you not want to be regulated? Why would you not want someone rooting for excellence in the industry? Why would you not want an organisation to be able to give you everything you need to run an effective and efficient business, a lawful business, where you can sleep well at night knowing that you've handled every... Come on, man. Just...
People are out there. People have said monopoly, they need vetting, but we'll get into it. So why needs vetting? Actual arborists who are already part of the Arbor Association, but we'll get into that later in the show. Why did you join the AA?
Mate, I joined the AA for a number of reasons. One was because because business is a scary place. Everyone knows business is a really scary place. And when I first went into business, I didn't know much about running a business. All I knew about was how to cut trees, and I was quite good at cutting trees and managing trees, right? A little bit good at sales, and I kind of knew where I could bring value, but really and truly, I knew not a lot about structuring a business and what's required in order for you to meet all of your to meet everything that the law requires you to meet. Do you know what I mean? Whether it comes to Lola, Pure, whether it comes to accounting, customer relationships, complaints procedures, terms and conditions, insurance, what kind of insurance, have I got the right insurance, structuring of the business, continuous professional development, networking, having that support network there, someone talking on your behalf in government to try and lobby for the right things in arboriculture, health and safety. This is all of the great things, just some of the great things that the Arboricultural Association, let's just say AA, right, for sure, because we're going to start losing our tongue. But these are just some of the small things that this Arboriculture Association, the AA, do for the industry as a whole. And they are the only organisation in this country that are able to give us that direction.
But so can I not just go on the internet, download the risk assessments, download the method statements, join the forums, join the Facebook groups, and learn all of that information myself?
Not really, because there's, for example, the two-rope working situation, that's just come up. I know we touched on it lightly last time, but and I don't really want to go into too much of the two-rope working thing, but your risk assessment needs to be up to date with the current needs of where the attention's at right now in regards to the industry. You can have an everyday, and you can have your risk assessment, but it won't be thorough. It won't be up to date. The industry is changing every single month by month, week by week, like year by year. There are things that we need to focus on now as business owners that we didn't have to focus on like 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago. We didn't.
But why should your association have to charge for that? Why can't they give the risk assessment and the method statements and a lot of training away for free? They say they're a charity.
Yeah, but they do give it away for free. But at the end of the day, every charity needs to make some sort of... They need to make money, and in order to be able to run, like, they've got employees, they've got people that lobby, they've got accounts, they've got Polystone, they've got, you've got, Paul Smith, you've got all of the people who work in the marketing, you've got all these people who are putting together the consultancy, it's an organisation, it's a business, and yeah, you're right, you're absolutely right, and you've obviously done your research. They are a charity, they have got a list of trustees, so they're not out there to make loads of money. In fact, they don't make a lot of money at all, and all of the money that they do make, they give back, they put back in. They've got boards of, mate. They're a lot bigger than what people think. But every company should be. Yeah, they do. They're a huge organisation. But every organisation, in my personal opinion, needs to be aiming to be ARB approved, or at least use it as a template as to what you need to do to meet the requirements of being an employer, or in itself. And the one thing that pulled me away from being from wanting to be in the ARB Association is because I thought it was directed at like contractors only, and obviously us at Thors Trees, we're a domestic organisation. We meet the domestic, although we dabble in a little bit of B2B, we're mainly B2C, as in like we serve the domestic market. We want to be the biggest domestic household brand for tree care. So my goal is to use the same standards and excellence that the Arboriculture Association, the AA, push out, but to target that towards making it a household brand. You've got Gas Safe for boiler people. It's bearing in mind also, Arboriculture is a non-regulated organisation. It's not regulated. It's got regulated by a little bit of HSE, but it's not so the Arboriculture Association, the AA, is the one place where you can go where there is, things in writing, a way for you to do things.
But when you're starting out in the industry, you can't go and be AA approved straight away, because you've got the excess paperwork. You need to be able to afford those staff. You've got to bring in a certain level of revenue before you can look at going down the AA route. That's where I struggle. When I was a small business, I can't justify spending £600 or whatever it was for the assessment fee, then as well as jumping through all the other hoops that come along with it, in hopes that I might win that 10 or 15 grand contract in a year, 2 years' time. Yeah, my standards of tree care will go up, but that'll come with experience, doing extra training.
Yeah, but you need to have something to work towards. You need to have something to work towards. You know, don't we all have to start from somewhere. And don't get me wrong, it was one of the hardest things for me to do as a company. You have to have 2 years worth of filed accounts to even be an arbor-proof contractor. So of course you should. Anyone can just start a company and liquidate a company in a year. We need to know that they need to know that you are a company that's going to represent them properly. Yeah, but really and truly, I wrote a few notes on the Arbor Association, and the Arbor Association, by the way, is the only comprehensive accreditation for the UK tree surgery businesses in the UK. It's the only one. You know, they're the only people rooting for excellence.
Does that mean someone else could come into the industry and compete against the Arbor Association then?
You won't be able to, because like they are too big of an organisation. Maybe they can. You know, if they can, cool. But there's no point diluting that market. Yeah. It's there. It's a great organisation to be a part of. Anyone... I would challenge someone. This is what I would do. If you don't believe in the Arboriculture Association, meet all of the requirements that, you know, get your business to a point where it could be arbor approved, and then say it's not worth it. But I have got, and I've had millions of pounds worth of business come past my desk every week, because there has never been a better time to be arbor approved. If you are looking for a big contract, if you are looking to build your business up to getting all these big contracts. I get millions of pounds worth of work put on my desk. Say, do you want this one? No thanks. Do you want this one? No thanks. Because there are people out there that say, I am not willing to give this contract to anyone unless you're arbor approved as a baseline.
But if you're a business and you're wanting to not have to go down the contractor route, can you still not just grow your business to the consumer? Because what does the Arbor Association mean to the average tree owner? Because I've mentioned it in the past, and they just go,
and that's,
we don't know.
And that's my goal. My goal is to be able to say, if you are going to compete against us for business, then the benchmark is compare us to an arbor-proof company.
Yeah.
If you're not going to compare us to an arbor-proof company, there's no competition. I'm sorry, we're not on the same level. Our level of excellence is different to their level of excellence. They're not improved up to 10. They're not insured up to 10 million. They don't have a CPD program. They don't upskill their staff or keep them current in their qualifications. They don't have all of the necessary required, health and safety policies. They don't do risk assessments. They don't invoice properly. There are so many things. You don't even check your vans before they leave your house or before you leave the yard. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not doing all these pure requirements, if you're not doing all these Lolo requirements, if you're not training your staff and keeping current in your qualifications, you're not on the same level. So I'm not expecting you to be the same price as me, because you're not doing what I'm doing. But if
doesn't it always come down to money though? So I'll compete against you. I might be £300-400 cheaper than you because you've got the latest fans, you've got all the latest kit. It's a horrible way in the industry that people still do get undercut, but I'm more likely going to win the work. I don't think the customer...
Honestly, you don't.
There's only been two times in the 6 years I ran my own business, someone went, can I see your tickets and can I see your insurance? And I was a homeowner who did their due diligence.
Bro, like, honestly, the one thing in business that... The misconception that unfortunately people have in business is they think if you're the cheapest, you're going to get the job. You're completely wrong. In fact, I don't buy the cheapest. Like I actually go for the complete opposite. What am I getting? What more value do I get out of this than using this? If I went for the cheapest guy every single time, I wouldn't have half of the thing. If I had the cheapest van, we wouldn't have that many vans sitting on the forecourt. Yeah. If I went for the cheapest phone, I wouldn't be able to do all of the things that I need my phone to do. If I went for the cheapest trainers, they would have fallen apart 2 weeks ago. I'm not going for cheap. I'm going for the best. I want the best.
But for the consumer...
There's a market, though, for cheap. There's a market for cheap.
For the consumer, that £300 may be a difference of, we can get the tree done, or no, we can't get the tree done.
But getting the tree done properly or not getting the tree done properly. Having a qualified, competent person to do the work who's going to be able to remove all the waste properly, for that, or not be having a qualified person. If you want cheap, we're not the company for you.
Yeah.
We do not win our work. Like, we don't use price as the competitive tool. If you're using price as your competitive tool, sorry, we're not the company for you. And that's the way that I want to position Thors Trees, and where all of the best companies out there position themselves as this is the price. This is how we've worked it out. We meet all of the requirements. We're necessarily insured. We deliver off of excellence. This is the price. If you want someone who's not going to deliver off excellence, go for someone else. Go for that other cheaper quote.
In the UK, we mentioned in the last episode, there's about 28, maybe at top 30,000 tree surgeons. You don't compare yourself to the 30,000. You only compare yourself, if you do, to anyone, will be the 300 or so ARB-approved businesses. Because they will have to be at the same level as you.
Trust me, this is why I want more people to be ARB approved, because there are many people who aren't ARB approved that are sick. They are really good. You should be ARB approved, because the industry is going that way to a point where it will be regulated one day. And if you don't meet those regulations, you won't get the business. You will fold. It just won't work. So everyone should be aiming to be ARB approved. I know it costs a little bit of money. Trust me, it's worth it. There are some companies that I used to freelance for. They didn't even have a first aid kit. They didn't even have like a climber that could save, like who could do aerial rescue on site. Like, bro, it's crazy. What? You haven't got someone? I'm not even gonna go. It's a no-brainer, guys. If anybody really wants to have that conversation with me, like outside of this, because I'm conscious to not drag this whole podcast about the Arboriculture Association, because I do think they are a brilliant, if not the best. One of the best business moves I ever made was aiming to be ARB approved, hands down. But if anybody wants to like, you know, knock heads together, you can always hit me up on my social media. I want to support you, and I want to understand your point of view as well, because I might be wrong, you know. And,
so
I'm always down for that.
If I want to take my business to the next level, I've got to go with the AA.
I think the AA is a great place to start.
So once I'm ready to take that step, what do we do? Do we just give them a ring? Do we send them an email?
Download the standards. So I think it's a free download. Go onto the website, download the standards. We've got the standards here. I mean, we've literally just got approved again. So download the arboricultural standards. It's quite thick, but it's well worth and work through go through it as if it's a tick box. Say, do I do this? Yes. Do I do that? Yes. Do I do that? Yes. Do I do that? And you might, a lot of them might be, no, I'm not doing that at the moment. Great. Well, then now that's what you need to work on this week, because if you haven't got any training records, then you should probably start putting some training records together. Use it as a great template to get your business to where it needs to be. And then if it's something that you really want to do, then go in and say, hi guys, I meet all the requirements of being an Arboricultural Association contractor, an AAC. Can I get an assessment date, and can someone come down and assess my company and see if this is something that I can do? And they will. And you know what? I can almost promise you that once you get your business to a point where it does what the AAC requires you to do, you will sleep so much better at night. Business will be so much more easier. It won't be stressful too much. You'll have people that you can rely on and lean on in the event that you did get stuck up in business about something. Bro, like, it's... I don't want to blow smoke up them too much, but honestly, like...
You're doing a good job.
Business is so much more easier when you're an AAC. So much more easier. Everything is there for you. You just follow it, and then you're already considered one of the top 3% of businesses in the UK. Just like that.
Come assessment day, what advice could you offer to someone who's met the requirements, who's getting ready? The assessors are coming out in a week's time. What could you offer them in terms of advice and support?
I would say, like anything in life, right? When you want something, speak to someone who's done it. Yeah? So reach out to an AAC, reach out to an ARB-approved contractor. That's number one. Yeah? And there may be things that... I'm happy to speak to anyone who wants to become an AAC. Reach out to me. Reach out to me at Lawrence-Thor on Instagram. Reach out to us at Thors Trees. Give me a call at my office. One of the girls will put you through to my office. I'm happy to have a chat with anyone about it, because I'm so passionate about getting this ARB industry to a level where it needs to be, and we're nearly there. People are more and more conscious about that. So number one, speak to an AAC. Speak to an ARB-approved contractor. Number two, don't be so hard on yourself, right? It's there. Like a successful business is a process. It's not a destination. It's a process. So understand the process of what it's going to take for you to become an arbor-proof contractor, and just soak it in. Just learn about it and enjoy it. Don't get stressed out. This is not something you should be stressed out about. This is something you should be excited about. So just get your head in the right headspace for 2, and for 3. I don't really know, man. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Worst case scenario is you might not pass this time. It will come with a few recommendations. We always come back with a couple of recommendations as to things that we need to do moving forward. And no matter what point you are in your business, like whenever you get reassessed, because you get reassessed often because it's an SSIP. You get reassessed often, they're always going to come back and say, oh, there's a little bit more room for improvement here. There's a little bit more room for improvement here. And it keeps you as the director of operations, or keeps you as a business owner. This is someone who is, you are periodically getting your business to the next level, no matter where you're at. You might be at this point, this time. Next time they expect you to be here. Next time they expect you to be here. And they will mentor you through being an excellent company.
Oh. We're done. That's it with the AA. No more about it.
Done,
we're going to go on and on and on about it.
Let's get into the real stuff now.
Right. So you were talking about quality. Now, I'm going to throw another spanner in the works, which a spanner does get used on them occasionally. Okay. Why did you go with Forst? Because I've seen your beautiful little face all over with Forst.
Mate, I love Forst. I really like Forst machines. I think their service is second to none, and I'm not here to hot out any other plant chippers. I think there are a number of their competitors are brilliant, but Forst hands down win every single time. Your machine breaks, bang, they'll come at you with a replacement machine, take your one away, fix it. They've got mobile mechanics all over the place that if you need something fixed, they'll come out to you. It's covered under warranty. They give you really good prices. Their assets, in regards to business as well, the asset actually holds its value a lot more higher than most of its competitors. So that's another thing. The depreciation.
Forst chippers on the second-hand market in recent years.
Exactly, because they don't depreciate too much and they're reliable. So the fact that they're on the second-hand market means that someone has sold their previous asset or part exchanged it. It's upheld its value, and it was worth the swap. So Forst, for me, hands down in terms of depreciation, it's there. It's great. It's reliable. In fact, Forst are already begging me for a couple of my machines back because they're like, we want you. And look, Doug and Kenny, I know you're going to be watching this later on down the line, and I'm sorry, but the machines aren't for sale. They're too good. There's no point part X in them because they're too good. We take too much good care of them. But and if Doug and if you guys are listening, I'm ready for the next one because we need another one now. We've got another team that needs to go out, and we've got the van there, but we haven't got the chipper yet. So I need a new machine anyway. The ST6P, I need another one. But in answer to your question, bro, Forst, their level of service, them you can rely on them every single time. Rely on them.
So what were you running before you switched?
We had a Timberwolf TW230, I think it was, before we switched over. So we had the Timberwolf. It was brilliant. It did break a couple of times, but when it was broken, the most frustrating thing was it's out of use. And now I'm having to hire another machine to be able to offset the damages or whatever was done. And it was breaking down for a number of different reasons. And we bought it brand new. I bought it brand new. But it just wasn't doing it for me. Maybe their machines have improved now, but at that time, I was really desperate to try and get on board with a machine that wasn't going to let us down, wasn't going to cost us any more money, wasn't going to lose us, because for every day that machine was out, we're not making money and we're having to hire, and if we're hiring, it's like £100, £150 a day coming out your net and net profit, and you can't have that. So no brainer for me with Forst.
What vans are you running?
We've got Ford Transits. We've got a fleet of Ford Transits. They're brilliant. Well, they're all right actually. Sometimes they break down, and there's a few things. But that's just Ford. There's no such thing as a bulletproof van. With all this new ultra low emission zone stuff and all these Euro 5s and Euro 6s and probably soon to be Euro 7s. With all this AdBlue they're adding into the engines and all that, there's electrical problems that are going on. But we're on top of it. We've had a good firm hold on our vans, and we take very good care of them. Their service, the boys, all of the guys who work here take great care of their vans. We've still got the first ever van we bought. 4 or 5 years ago. Adam loves it. He doesn't want to get rid of it. He's begging me not to get rid of it. We've also got an Iveco, is it a Euro cargo or something like that? I think we've got a 7.5 ton lorry.
Euro cargo, I think they are for the 7.5 tonners.
Yeah. So we've got a 7.5 ton lorry, and we're probably going to have to get another transit at some point. I love transits. Just keep it simple, stupid for me. Do you know what I mean? I think if your whole fleet's Ford, then you know what to expect. You know what parts to get. You know what supplier you use. You know, it's really simple. So yeah.
So you're not thinking of getting a Unimog anytime soon, then?
No, but a friend of mine's bought a Unimog, and I'm happy for him, but it's not for me. It doesn't. It's not for me. You know, the Unimogs are great machines, but we work in a suburbs of London, inner London, and for you to drive a Unimog around London is ridiculous. Yeah. But there is a market for it, and I see some boys play around on. Some of my followers and some of the people that reach out to me on social media, I see their machinery and it gets me excited, but it's not for me and it doesn't meet my current market. But I do love big machines, and I know that you've got a big machines section on your magazine that's coming out, haven't you? That the grapple saws and all of that stuff.
Mate, the next edition of the magazine's coming out middle of May time. We've got Unimogs, trucks, forwarders, all the really big kits in the industry that, as like a normal arborist, we don't really get to play with. But we've got one guy. I think his name's Ben Jenkins. I'm sure it's Ben. He's got an Advant loader on the front of the Unimog. Then he's got the Unimog, and then he's got a chipper on the back of it, and he drives it around like it's a Mini Cooper. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Is so sick. That's so sick. I need to check him out. I'm going to start following more and more of these people because big machines do get me excited.
He sends us pictures of it all being assembled, and I looked at it and went, "Are you insane? Are you allowed to drive that on the road?" And he goes, "It sticks out maybe like 1.5 meters," and I'm just thinking, if a wagon comes down, that's your Advent. That's half the mob taking clean out.
Do you know what? Hands off to those people, man. I know that they're having a lot of fun, and you wouldn't buy something like that for no reason. So it's got to be making him good money, but it's just not for us. It's not for us. I mean, maybe when we branch out, no pun intended, to other regions of the UK, it will become a necessary asset to invest in. But right now, in London, we don't need it. It's not for us,
So, what is your favourite bit of kit that you have for the business?
My favourite kit for the business? You're asking the wrong guy, man. I know you've got to ask my team. My team's
you still sat in the office nowadays? All right, when's the last time you climbed a tree?
When was the last time I climbed a tree? It was probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So I've made a commitment, as I said on my last podcast. I've made a commitment to go out with my team every Tuesday. So I spend a different Tuesday with a different team, and I spend time with that team leader, time with the groundsman, and try and understand where they're at their progressive career, and try and put things in place to try and help them get to the next level of wherever it is that they're trying to get to, to understand their next training program and try and mentor them to get to that next level. So every Tuesday I'm going out anyway. Sometimes I climb, sometimes I don't climb, but I love spending time with the team. I don't get to spend enough time with my team. I love my team. But unfortunately, my time is better spent somewhere else. I need to run the business. I'm the director of operations now, and I have to have my head in other business. Otherwise, we won't take over. We just won't.
You mentioned
accounts and all that stuff.
You mentioned about growing the business. What parts of the business are you looking to grow next? Are you looking to potentially go into the biomass sector? Are you looking to just have more teams dotted around the UK? What's the strategy?
I'm trying to meet the demand of the clients. Like, there has never been a time where we have been in so much demand. I know the industry's kind of going there at the moment. So my goal at the moment is to try and build the company up to meet the demand, but also address the needs of our staff and address the needs of the people on my team, like my colleagues. Market ourselves properly. We're all doing a great job of that, but my goal is to get as much attention as possible. Develop great relationships with contractors, outside contractors. Work on sales, just always fine-tuning the business to get to the next level. How we can, try and structure our finances so we are comfortably affording the the business can comfortably afford to go to the next level. You know, as I mentioned earlier, we need to get a chipper now. We're going to probably have to get another spare van. You know, we're going to need to get new staff. Like, we are so desperate, bro, for more staff. It's unreal. If anybody who's listening to this podcast lives in London and isn't working for a tree surgery company in London, isn't happy, is ready to take their career to the next level, please reach out to Thors Trees. Please, we need you. We need good people. We need groundsmen, lead climbers, second climbers, people who are ready to progress their career to the next level. Please reach out to me. I just want an opportunity to be a part of your career, to be a part of the next you. So that's the next thing as well for me, in answer to your question, is trying to find good people to join our team. Like, don't get me wrong, we get applications all the time, but we want great people. We want good people to turn them into great people and give them opportunity.
People who can follow your core values.
Absolutely. Yeah, we hire on our core values. You know, we had a guy who has got a trial day this Wednesday. Super pumped for him. We've had another application. Yasmin put an application on my desk today. I had a look through it. The guy looks very promising. Yasmin spoke to him on the phone. I listened over the interview over the phone, and I'm super excited to maybe have him come in for a trial day. We are always looking for good people. Always. So I'm super excited for that. That's my goal in the next 3 to 6 months, is to find good people to join our team. That's my job now.
Go back a couple of years to when you first started running the business. Did you just get freelancers in straight away, or was there a time where you thought, you know what, I'm bringing in enough, I can justify taking someone on? Because I know there's a couple of businesses out there at the moment that are in two minds of going, right, I found a really great subby, I can either bring him in, PAYE, or I can keep him as a subcontractor. Where was it in you where you thought, right, I can take someone on full time?
Don't go subcontractor. Please don't position your business to go subcontractor. It's not, for me, it's not a model that I've found to work. It might work for some. For me, and I know I'm going to get beat up about this. And I'm sorry to anyone that I'm offending. And I mean no offense, but the industry needs to start employing people. It's in my opinion, it's quite selfish when you don't employ people. You're not taking on the direct concerns of that person. That, you know, there's a very small minority of people, of arborists in this game, who probably are best positioned to be subcontracting. You know, the people who are very, very, very good. You know, the people that can do only the select things. Like, you know, if you specialize in crane work, in big takedowns, in structure, you know, and that's all you do, and you're very, very good at it, then every single day there's not a company for you every single day, because there's not a company out there that's doing crane work every single day. So that's a great subcontractor. But if you're just a good climber, or a great climber, then get employed by someone, become employed. Or if you're, you know, it's a win-win for both parties. Your employer will be focusing on you and the growth of you and the security of your finances and career, paying your pension, you know, continuous professional development. So for me, like, it's always a win if you can get people on your team. Don't get me wrong, yeah, it is risk averse. Employing people is risk averse, but so is running a business. You have to weigh it up. One of the best things about here at Thors Trees is I rely on my team, and I know my team rely on me, and I will always give my team 100%. I will always give my staff 100%. Sometimes I give them, I give some people more than what they actually should be getting, and I end up get let off. Like, you know, some people have left, unfortunately, that I've given a lot to. That's just the way of business. I'm not going to change who I am because someone decides to leave. Unfortunately, we're in an industry where people come, people go. That's what I've had to realize recently, is that, you know, you're going to get people who find a company, this is definitely the career for me, I want to stay here, I trust my employer, I trust I trust this business, I know it's going to grow, I know it's going to be big, I know there's going to be success for many more years to come, this is the company for me. But you don't get anywhere being a freelancer, because you're just jumping from one place to another, and you have no loyalties anywhere other than your own diary.
So how do you deal with either employees wanting to leave, or you having to have that conversation and say, look, it's not working out, we're going to ask you to leave?
Bro, it's so... What do you mean, for me or for them?
Well, both. Because there's been a couple of occasions where I've had subcontractors in, and I've had to say, look, get off the site halfway through the day. You can't gel with the team. You're sitting down every 5 minutes. And there's been a time where I had this great, absolutely outstanding groundsman who fortunately died about 6 months after working with me. And he had a heart attack, unfortunately. He came out, he was an absolute laugh to work with, worked his arse off constantly, and just wanted an honest wage from me. And they're the type of people that I'd love to work with, and we've all had some dickheads in the industry. But even when I've had to sack someone, I've still went, well, it's my fault.
Yeah, I mean, look, a good employer always takes responsibility. A good person always takes responsibility. So that was the right place to start, in my opinion. But I'm not sure what the question was, though. What was the question?
Oh, sorry. How do you deal with having to sack people?
So I try not to. If I'm honest with you, I don't really sack people. I don't. We're either the right company for you or we're not the right company for you. We deliver off of excellence. We're very hardworking. Everyone here is very hardworking. I give you my 150%. All I expect back from you is just your best. And everyone here gives Thors Trees their best because I give Thors Trees my best. And I give them my 100% commitment to their career. If they knocked on my door, anybody wants anything, comes into my office, has a chat privately. If you need anything in your personal life, I'm here for you if I can be. If you want to do something for charity or something like that, we're always here to support you as a business. But unfortunately, you do get those people who just don't fit in your company. And if you're employing someone, you have what's called like a probation period anyway. So, you can kind of get rid of them, or they can leave in their probation period anyway. And there doesn't really need to be any proper reason, I don't think, for them to leave. But to be honest, if you're not the right company for that person, they're going to leave anyway. And if they're not the right individual for us, like I've had to fire some people. I've had to not fire but let someone go, and it's really hard. As an employer, it's not easy to give someone something and then take it away. But the consequences of them staying are so bad. Like we would lose so much if you stayed because you're not good at what you do, that if I don't say, bro, unfortunately this is not working for you, this is not working for us, I'm going to have to let you go. If I don't do that, we will lose tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of work by keeping you here. And it's my responsibility. And this is one of the hardest things about being an employer. It's my responsibility as the person who is responsible for everything that happens here to have to say, it's not working out, unfortunately we're going to have to let you go because of this and this. We appreciate everything that you've done, and by the way, bro, this has only happened like
a few times, if that.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times. That if they didn't leave, it would have cost us a hell of a lot more. And a great leader is someone who can stand up to those people and say, bro, it's not working, you're gonna have to go. I've had people, mate, it's so hard, honestly. Like I've had people beg me, please give me one more chance, please, and it's so hard. But by that point, I'd already made the decision. Unfortunately, mate, you're going to have to go. If you need a reference, I'm here for you. I'm willing to give you a reference to your next employer. You've paid them for the time that they were here, but unfortunately, we're not the company for you. But I wish you all the best in the future. That's hard, man. That is hard. That's hard work.
As a business owner, you never seem to suffer from burnout. From whatever I've seen you doing it, you're always doing it to your best ability. I suffer from burnout once a day.
Yeah?
What's the secret?
Do you want me to be honest with you, bro?
Go for it.
Do you want me to be really honest with you? Mate, I probably burn out more than what you do.
No.
But
every weekend,
I promise you, man.
I've seen you going out. You're out running in the evenings.
I know, bro. But the thing is, I get stressed too. I get depressed too. I run one of the biggest companies in North London, like tree surgery wise. I've got I get anxiety too. I get scared too. I get exhausted too. I've had people in my family. Bro, my mum got COVID-19 the other day, right? And it was one of the scariest things I've ever had to do in my life was to watch my mum. God, swear to God, thank God she's okay now, right? But I honestly thought that was going to be it, bro. The way that she was breathing was was fucking scary, man. Like I have things going on in my personal life. I thought that was it. I didn't think I was going to see my mum for much longer. She was lying on her bed. She couldn't breathe. This is real, like, do you know what I mean? And as a business owner, someone who employs 15, 16 people, every single day I've got to turn up. I have to turn up. Like some people have got a choice. You call in sick, like you're an idiot if you do, but I can't call in sick. I've got people that rely on me. I have to get up. I have to be the best possible version of me. My team require it. You know, my family require it. My future self requires it. I need to be the best version of me today because I won't get there. And I won't get the things that I want. I won't be able to help the people that I want to help. I won't be able to do the charitable things that I do. I won't be able to mentor the people, inspire people. I want so many people to be inspired by someone just like me because it's doable. You just got to get up, do the work, put the work in. Like even recently, my health situation, I've been focusing on my health recently. It's been a big thing. When I first started this business, my health was completely compromised. Like I've got endless videos of me being in work till 3-4 o'clock at night, eating Chinese every fucking night. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Eating Chinese, eating this not eating Chinese because I want to, but because I've got fucking work to do. Sorry, I know I'm going to try to swear less. Sorry, mum. But my body took a toll on the build on the first on the first build up of my business, but now the business where it is. Like I'm now not able to focus on the other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I was going through your Instagram, your stories, and it said like 153 weeks ago, and day after day, you were leaving at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You even went to Barcelona for like a 24-hour weekend just to go skydiving. And I'm thinking, this guy is insane.
I do things at 100. I do things at 100 mile an hour. Like, you know, and when I do something, I do it at 100. I give it my absolute all. I give it my absolute everything. So from the skydiving all the way through to like running the business, all the way through to family when I can. You know, I give everything my 100%.
So for someone who's sitting there listening to the podcast thinking, Christ, Lawrence is completely insane. I can never achieve this. I can never do 50, 60 jobs a month. There's so much to look after. I've got to manage a team. I've got to manage the vehicles. How have you brought all that together? Is it just by hiring the right people, or has there been a strategy or a visionary behind it all?
Having the right team is important. Absolutely. You know, we wouldn't be the company that we are if we didn't have the team, if I didn't have the people that I could rely on. But for me, I think you kind of need to lead from the forefront. You need to be an example of a leader. You know, you can't ask someone to do something if you're not going to do it yourself in the same quality that you're going to do it yourself. I give something my 100%. I kind of work. I work on the business and in the business, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't just loads of times.
You know, I don't just do what is required today. We future-proof the model. Like the Thors Trees is future-proof. The systems we put in place is future-proof. I'm not planning to solve today's problem. I'm planning to solve the problem when we are 50 vans. So every decision that we get made, and all the sales things that we put in place, all the marketing that we put in place, all the teams and how we structure things is all put in place that it's a scalable model. I can replicate this 50 times over. So it's really, really simple for me. When I'm ready for another van, when the business, when the demand is there, which it is now, it's really easy for me to replicate. You just copy and paste. That's all it is. Whereas what I see with some other companies is they're solving today's problems, they're not solving tomorrow's problems. So when tomorrow's problem comes, they're not in a position to be able to attack that at 100% because their systems are always changing, their accounting's always changing, their hiring structure's always changing, their development program for their staff is changing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm interested, how many quotes a month do you guys actually do then? To keep the revenue coming in to grow the business, because it's got to be a serious amount with 15 people on the books.
We've just
doesn't have to be an accurate number.
No, I mean we've just hired a quota. His job is to literally go out and quote jobs, closed deals. He's doing a great job so far, like, you know, and I'm very proud of him, and I've trained him up to a point where he's at right now. And again, it's a replicable thing. What we've taught him, we can replicate, and if anything, he should be at a point now where he can actually teach the next person. He's that good. He can teach the next person to get to do what he's doing. So now we can just replicate, because it's just a process. So he does on average between 8 to 10 quotes a day, and he goes out every single day.
Wow, that's insane.
So and then I'm doing, you know, I'm probably doing quotes maybe 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week, and I'm doing between 10 and 12 quotes a day. So on average, we're maybe doing average like 20 quotes a day, maybe.
So you mentioned you've got like a process. There's a method to actually going out and bidding for the tree work, because my method, I think everyone's probably done this. I work with another great groundy. He came with the van, the chipper, a couple of his tools for $250 a day, and that was a few years ago, and that was next to nothing.
Okay.
So I'd go, for me to go out, the minimum I can charge is 350 quid. Bit of money for myself. Yeah, so you can see already. You can see I'm low.
Well, it's not that you're low, but you said that you're basically only giving yourself 100. You're not considering your overheads. So you're not considering your insurance. You're not considering your tools. You're not considering repair. You're not considering growth. You're not considering. So really, you say it's 250. You know, your minimum should be 500, because you need to invest. And actually, by the way, out of your money comes tax. So you've just put £100 on top minus tax. You haven't considered tax, which is 20, so 40%, depending on what tax bracket you are.
That model, for me, lasted about 6 months before I went, hang on, I'm not making any money. So I started seeing what other tree surgeons were doing. I started talking a little bit about it more. And I eventually got to that stage where I'd go, right, hang on, there's 50 things that contribute to this business. I have to accumulate for every single one of them. But again, people still go out and undercut themselves and undersell themselves. Just give us just a little piece of the process.
A little piece of the process in regards to what? Like,
in regards to going out and bidding for the work,
Well, you just think you need to know what your bottom line is, like what you just worked out. You know, what is your break-even point for the day? Like, what is your break-even? And once you understand what your break-even point is, now you need to subdivide your day up as to how long this job's going to take. And then how long is this job going to take? You now need to structure that job up with another job if you're not doing that job for the whole day. Do you know what I mean? It might only be a 4-hour job. Well, okay, cool. You need to find another 3-hour job. And consider travel time as well. There are so many... with the system that we've created at Thors Trees, it's easy. So easy. And when we do license and franchise out, and when we do grow, when we do consult, you know, if someone wants to go in with me in business or something like that, then get in touch. You know, I'm happy to invest. I'm at a point now where I'm probably going to be investing in other businesses. In fact, I am investing in other businesses now. I'd love to be able to help people get their business to the next level, or at least consult. But bro, quoting is the easiest bit. Quoting's the easiest bit. You know how long a job's gonna. You should know how long a job's gonna take. If you know how long a job's gonna take, then pricing's easy, because it's only the additional things like waste, how many men are required. You know, do you need a MUP on this job? What kind of machinery do you need to bring? How many vans do you need? These are all just simple, small things. It's just like a tick box exercise, really. And once you've got that process in place, it's easy. Quoting's easy. I wish I could actually. I actually think quoting's easy. Closing the deal is easy. Like, closing's fucking... Like, if you use our system, it's sweet. But, in answer to your question, there is a process. And as long as the process is met, and as long as you do what is required, you can't go wrong. But every business is different. Every business's overheads are different, you know. So, it's easy.
How much has your business grown since you started it per year, Dan? 20%, 30%?
So year 1 was 25k, year 2 was 100k, year 3 was probably about 250,000. Now we're nearly at $1 million. So we're like, you know, we've more than 30 times revenue from year 1. You know, but turnover's vanity, man. Turnover's vanity is bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, don't judge a business by its turnover.
That's what everyone does, though. Everyone goes, how much money have I made this year? Too many people
made
are
is
driven
different.
about money.
Made is different. There's a guy that I know. His name's George, consultant, great consultant, friend of mine. Turnover's vanity, profit's sanity, cash flow's reality.
Yeah, makes sense.
So don't focus on your on the revenue. Revenue don't mean shit. If you turn over $1 million, but it's 1.2 million to run your business every year, you're at a £200,000 deficit. So, there are some companies out there that are one-man bands that I know that are making more money than some three-man bands. Because I consult to him and I give him advice. And his profit margins are far bigger than what his competitors are, and he's making more money. There are other people who are multi-million pound companies that I know of. I've looked through their balance sheets. Do you know what I mean? We're talking turning over between 5, 10, 20 million, but their profit margins are 3-4%, 5%.
Yeah,
but 5% of $1 million is a lot. So I'm not trying to ridicule it, because they've done very well to get where they are. But profit is where there's sanity. There's no point in having big turnover, because if you can't handle the pressure of that amount of money going in and out, you've lost. So focus on profit for sure.
Spoken about the Arb Association, we've spoken about the business. I want to grill down on you. I want to know who Lawrence-Thor actually is now.
I thought that was the last one, man. Didn't anybody learn enough about me? What do you want to know about me for? I'm boring.
No. There's more to you, because we've had conversations off the air, and you've really inspired me, and you've grown my business as well a little bit. I've now got an advertiser on the podcast. We've got more people joining the magazine. We've pushed heavily on the subscribers. If you want to listen,
real talk though, I'm so proud of you, man, for what you've done in the last. Even look from 3 weeks ago to where your business is now, right? Because you listened to me and you took my advice. So well done to you. Honestly, I thank you for listening. How much more better is your business now that you've listened to some of the things that I've told you to do? Honestly.
At the moment, it's still the same, because of me outgoings has gone really up because of the money that's come in. But I'd say I'm about maybe 2 more months off breaking even with the podcast and a few other little things.
How much more better off are you now that we've had those conversations?
Oh, you are crazy. I had a conversation with you about 2 weeks ago, and all you did was shout at me down the phone, and I got off the phone and went, he scared the shit out of me with that. But you
got on with it.
Yeah, I followed it through. I stuck to it. I've now got a sponsor who sponsors this podcast. That is money in my back pocket, because I listen to you.
Well, and that's just one, and you're still yet to execute those other things that I told you about. But I mean, look, it's only been 2 weeks. I'm not going to go. I know I'm not going to go too hard on you. But you know what you need to do now, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. And that's one thing that hats off to you for starting the podcast. You're doing a great job, bro. But I'm so proud of you for even being humble enough to listen, and now you're starting to see great results. Small results, because it's only been 2 weeks. But results, bro. So well done, man.
Yeah. So what is the 10x movement on Instagram? Because I know what it is, but anyone who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about it.
Do you know what? Like 10x, the 10x rule is basically like it's almost like a lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. I can't really break into it on this, but essentially what it is like whatever you think you want, it is achievable. So times that vision, times that effort by 10, because you will be disappointed when you want one and you get it next year, and you'll be gutted that you didn't go for more. Do you know what I mean? Or even like your goals, like. Set your goals stupidly high. Like it is. I never thought I'd be able to get my health to where it is right now, but because of the 10x rule, because of the 10x mindset, in the last 6 months, I've completely transformed my life. Like my health is at a level that I never thought it would be in 6 months. I'm getting married in 3 months, and I've never been in. My body's never been in a position. I never thought it was going to be here. With the help of some of my with people that I've had on board and taken on board my team in regards to health. Shout out to Kieran as well. Appreciate where he's got my health. I employed him to look after me health wise. He's helped me with my diet. He's helped me with my sleep. He's helped me with my exercise. He's helped me with my training. He's helped me with my calories and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so like it's just, yeah.
So if they want to learn more about the 10X, who do they need to go and follow? And they'll be in for a shock.
Grant Cardone, man. Grant Cardone. You don't like him though. I don't know why you don't. Like. Okay, don't like. Maybe you do like him now after we've spoken, but maybe. I mean, but follow people like Grant Cardone. My mentors, and not so much Grant Cardone now. I've kind of like died down on him, but some of my biggest mentors, Ed Milet, big mentor of mine. I have Zoom meetings with him every 2 weeks. Andy Frisella, again, I have Zoom meetings with him every other week. Like Andy Frisella from First Form. There are some big ass people out there that are ready to help you get your business to the next level, you know. And Grant Cardone's a great place to start when it comes to sales. But his thing is the 10X
get you
movement.
Pumped up. He will get you pumped up to go, this is crazy. And
the number one reason
why stick at it.
Yeah, the number one. Look, I think he's the one that said it. But the number one reason why people fail in business is because they underestimate the amount of time and effort and energy that's required in order to be successful at that task. So the 10X rule helps put your mind and your strategy in position to be able to overcome any obstacle that is to come your way in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. In summary, if there is a way of kind of like summarizing it.
Now, question: why are you doing all of this?
Why? As in, why am I working so hard? Why do I do all my charitable things? Why do I? Inspiration, man. I want to inspire people. I want to leave the world in a better place than what it was when I first came in. There were people that helped me and my family and my mum and my brother and people that helped me out in my life when we weren't in a very good place. They didn't have to, but they did. Some of them aren't with us today. But if I don't get myself to a point where I am on the pursuit to being the best possible version of myself, if I'm not the best possible version of myself, how can I help others get to the best possible version of myself, of themselves? And also, how can I do more to inspire, to mentor, to get people who were where I was when I was young, vulnerable, quote unquote, unsuccessful and stuff. I want to be able to inspire people. I want my legacy to live through, and I want people to be able to talk about me and the things that I've done for them in the same way as I talk about the people that have done great things about me and the great things for me. You know, you should want to inspire. You should want to be the best. There's no point in waking up every day and lying in bed like a couch potato. Where's the success in that? Where's the legacy in that? Like, you should, well, in my opinion, everyone's different, but I truly want to pursue the best possible version of myself every single day. And it is a journey, and I understand that. Some days are better than others. As I said to you earlier, some days I'm super low. Like, I haven't posted on social media in the last 3 weeks. Actually, about a week, actually. But because I've had so much going on at work, I've been super stressed trying to get the business over the line for a couple of things and trying to become ARB approved again. We've had someone, unfortunately, has handed in their notice because they want to go into IT, and that's a stressful thing for me. So I've had to focus my energy on some things outside of my own personal brand. But yeah, the reason why I do this is because I want to inspire, I want to educate, I want to help people laugh, I want to pursue the best possible version of myself, and I want a good life for me and all of the people around me. In summary.
The alternative, you've got the success, also comes from hate. How do you deal with the hate and the jealousy of people?
One, I'm nowhere near as successful as what I'm not successful. I am not. I'm on my journey to. Well, I hope it's going to be successful one day, but I'm not successful yet. Although some people might look at me like that, and I appreciate it, but I'm not there. But you mentioned haters, bro. Yeah. Like, we spoke about this just before we came online.
We did, mate.
Haters, mate. I got my first hater.
I got my first hater.
I got my first hater. You told me about. You told me about my first hater.
Yeah.
Bro, there are some people that I really inspire to be like in this world. Yeah, they inspire me. Whether it be health, whether it be wealth, whether it be love, whether it be happiness. Like I have my people that I look up to and I want to be like, right? In some ways. They have people that don't like them. It's okay. It's okay to not be liked. I want to hope I haven't got that many, but
just like one or two.
Yeah, but it excites me because I must be doing something right. And by the way, I know deep down inside me that I want the best for everyone around me. And if we don't get on, it's absolutely fine. I mean, I don't know who I don't get on with, but because I don't have those type of people around me. But if there is something there, if there is a level of hate, if there is a level of jealousy, if there's a level of something negative around you for me, I'm sorry, and I actually feel really bad for you. I don't get angry about it. It doesn't consume me. I don't get. I've had people say, when they heard about the news of this particular thing. In fact, I've got warriors that are like, I've got people that are on my side that say, how fucking dare they? Like, what? Who do they think they are? They don't know who you are. They don't know what you do personally. They don't know all the good things that you do for people outside of work. They don't know what things but really and truly, it's okay. Like, I haven't got the energy to give those people, unfortunately, and I wish the best for them. And honestly, God's honest truth, if you don't like me, that's okay. I'm sorry, but my energy needs to be put in the places to pursue the best version of me. And the best version of me is not going to be focusing on that very small, extremely small, in fact, it's so small, it's not even worth focusing on, amount of people who are kind of rooting for you to not be successful. Because if I focus on you, all of this stuff do you know when you play computer games? Do you know when you play like Tekken? Have you ever played Tekken?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're right. So you've got that bar at the top. Do you know when you've got that little bar at the top with that energy thing, and when it goes Hadouken, the energy bar disappears, and you go Hadouken, and then you hit the next one, and the energy bar. I've only got like a certain amount of energy at the beginning of the day. And good energy is like things that go on, everything bad that happens, this thing just gets lower and lower and lower. So even when something negative hits me, I don't consume it as negativity because it is draining. It drains you. And you've only got so much of this per day to be able to, before you reach exhaustion. So what I do is, if someone makes me angry, now here's the secret actually, this is something that I do. If someone does something that should anger me, should upset me, it's so much more easier to digest that emotion as sorrow. I feel sorry for you, that you are not going to be a part of my life anymore because you've done this. It's so much more easier to digest that as sorrow than it is as, I can't believe that guy just did that. I can't believe it. That's nuts. Why would he do that to me? Do you know how much I've done? Like, that is so much more draining than just, it's happened. There's nothing we can do about it. I feel bad for that individual because he's not going to get my 100% anymore. I'm going to have to learn to just let it go. I'm going to have to let him go because I've got all these other positive things that I need to focus on. And people are relying on me to pursue and execute that I can't focus on this one person. So I'm going to take that person and say goodbye to him. And I'm going to now focus on the best possible version of myself. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I do. Because it's easier to digest sorrow than it is to digest anger.
Right, let's start wrapping this up a little bit because we're going on now. Where do you as a person go next in terms of you? Where do you go next?
Look, my focus is always going to be on Thors trees for as long as it's here. So my focus is always in the growth and the progression of Thors trees. Number one. 2, I want to start investing my time and energy into other businesses, into maybe other tree surgery companies, maybe looking at licensing, franchising, becoming an investor in other businesses. I want to start maybe consulting potentially. I want to pursue the things that make me happy as well, like my charitable things that I do for charity. I won't talk about them here because I don't do them for the sake of charity, for the sake of talking about them. But my other charitable pursuits, I'd love to be able to put more time towards that. What else do I want to do? I want to spend more time Skydiving. I love skydiving at the moment. That's a big thing. It's something that I do for fun. Lockdown's kind of restricted that, but I want to get back into the sports that I love doing. I want to spend more time with my family. I'm getting married in 3 months, so I want to start
crazy,
potentially
man.
starting. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be getting married to my beautiful fiance Natasha. I've been with her like 11 years now, man. 11 years, bro.
Wow.
I know. So
I bet she's seen some ups and downs.
We have seen ups and downs, but she has been on my side through the thick and thin, bro, through everything. So I want to be able to focus on my family life now. My family in the building of this business, my family has taken a huge toll. My family life and personal life has taken a huge toll, and I want to start focusing on my personal life now as well. So focusing on starting a family and pursuing pursuing happiness now, as well, but not losing foresight. Thors Trees is always there. It's always going to be there. I love the business. I will always nurture this business. I will always love it. But I'm ready now. I'm ready. This business pretty much almost runs itself, and I can now start pursuing and putting my energy towards other things and investing my time and money into other things. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, don't ask me that question. I don't know.
Okay.
Just to carry on growing the business, we're going to have a conversation off the air because a few things have happened in the last week or two. And
okay, cool.
I've been over and over and I need to ask you about them. But we're going to move on to the viewer questions, man. I've got some questions.
Go on then. Let's fire them away because I know. I'm super pumped. I've actually had so much good feedback from the last one. I really want to know. I've actually told them to direct the questions to you so we can ask them. So let's go.
So the first question, how do you manage an effective work-life balance?
How do I manage an effective work-life balance? If I'm honest with you, my work-life balance is not good. It's not
Don't
good.
exist, man. More work than life?
No, it don't exist. I'm either 100% business or trying to come away from the business. So there's no such thing for me. I've never been able to achieve a perfect work-life balance. If I focus on one thing, another thing has to suffer. If I focus on this thing, something else has to suffer. If I'm constantly trying to fight that battle that I mentioned in my first podcast with you, with health, wealth, love, and happiness, and I'm always trying to pursue the health, wealth, love, and happiness. And when one gets more of my attention, the other one suffers. So it's a myth.
It is a bit like a triangle. You've either got tree work and happiness or tree work and family. You can't always have everything. And I've tried to explain that to people around me to say, look, I'm either all in on this or I have to be all in on you. And right now, you can kind of wait. This is what I want to do at the moment. I've had that argument, unfortunately, with loved ones, and they're
it's hard, man.
Yeah, it's hard. So the next question from Target_trees: where would you realistically see yourself as a company in 10 years? Bigger, smaller, or more specialised?
Bigger, definitely. Smaller, definitely not. Definitely not. More specialised. I understand that, in order for us to be bigger, I mean, I've already said this in the first podcast, I want to be the biggest and best tree surgery company serving the domestic market around the UK. That's what we want Thors Trees to be as a company. Everybody here is on board with it. So it's to just pursue that. Who knows, in 10 years, bro? In 10 years, I mean, I might look back at this podcast and be like, you didn't aim big enough. You should have been international, not just national. But my goal is to be all over the UK. As I say, I need that helicopter, man. I need that helicopter. So I think we're definitely going to be bigger, probably more specialised. The tree surgery in Upshire is different to the type of tree surgery that you do in North London. So, it will be more specialised to meet the market that's required there, for sure. Thanks for the question, bro.
Yeah, we also asked the second question, what do people actually think of the Arb Association? So go follow us at All Things Arb on Instagram. Again, we're not going to use any company names because there was a bit of a slag and match going on at one stage. Okay. So we just asked the question, what do you think of the Arb Association? One guy's come back, not a huge amount, seems to preach authority, but seriously lack in the ability to have authority. What's your reply to that?
Maybe what you need to do is have a podcast with someone from the Arboriculture Association. That might be a great podcast. But in answer to your question, which was what was the question again? Sorry, it was about the Arboriculture Association and
So, not a huge amount, seems to preach authority, but seriously lack the ability to have authority, is what's came in.
What I mentioned earlier on in the podcast, the industry is probably one of the most dangerous. Think about it like this: arboriculture is one of the most dangerous industries in the UK. Should we agree on that? Right? It can be one of the most dangerous industries. Yet it's the most under-regulated. It's the most under-regulated industries in the world, in this country. So that's where the Arboricultural Association fits in for me. It's about regulation. In the future, there may become a requirement for you to be part of an accreditation scheme. It's not there yet. It may be in the future. I can definitely foresee it happening. And at the moment, the best one to be partnered with is hands down the Arboricultural Association. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And then the last one, good, but the quality of the vetting program has gone down the drain.
Vetting program of the Arboriculture Association, I'd have to disagree. You're going to have to... that's something you should bring up with the Arboriculture Association, but I don't know any arbor-proof contractors that are... Actually, maybe no. Well, I don't know, because I don't know that company inside out. So I have to trust that the Arboricultural Association have done their have met the necessary requirements. That company have met the necessary requirements and standards to become arbor-proofed. But don't knock the Arboricultural Association until you're able to meet their requirements. Like I've always said, don't try to bend the rules until you've mastered them. That's what Audemars Piguet says. You can't bend the rules until you've mastered them. So it's the same thing as with this. Don't talk down to it until you can meet the standards. If you meet the standards, cool, let's talk. Let's maybe you can become one of the pioneers of shaping this industry towards excellence. And if that's the case, I'm on board with you, bro. I'm on your train. But don't talk down to something if you're not quite there yet yourself.
Lawrence, that's it, mate. We've covered absolutely as much as I can think we've covered. Thank you
that's awesome,
for coming
man.
on the podcast.
I appreciate it. Mate, it's been sick. Thank you so much.
For
Thank
anyone
you so
who
much
wants
for this
to work
opportunity.
with you, for anyone who's got questions for you, for anyone who wants to know more, how can they get in touch with you?
So contact me directly through social media. Please make sure that you give me a follow. Also engage in my posts. Do you know what I mean? I love it when people engage in my posts and give me feedback. They motivate me. People on my social media motivate me. They help me become a better version of myself. So add me on social media. Lawrence-Thor, LAWRENCETHOR. On Instagram, you can reach out to Thors Trees as well on their Instagram. We love connecting with other industry, other arborists, other companies. So Thors Trees on Instagram as well. And also, if you can't get through to me there, give us a call, man. I'm always available on the phone in my office. One of the girls will put you through to my office, and I'm always up for a chat, man. If I can help anyone here, if there's anything that you think I might be able to help you with, or something that you might want to bring to my attention, you might want to put on my desk, maybe you want to invest with me, let me know, hit me up, and we'll go from there, bro. But just wanted to say, Tom, I really appreciate everything you've done for me in the last
thank you for coming on. I've
few weeks, man.
Loved it.
It's been a lot of fun. I've had a hell of a lot of fun, man, and I really appreciate it. It's been great.
But yeah, we'll get you on in a couple of months' time and see how you're getting on again.
No, don't do that. I think people have had enough of me now.
Lawrence, take it easy, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, brother. Take care, mate.